Hi you guys, and welcome back to the Mama Monologues.
Today we are going to be talking about some of our breastfeeding essentials, the things that we absolutely could not have survived without. Okay guys, so if you watched our breastfeeding story videos, you'll know that both of our journeys were each unique in their own ways and both equally trying and, you know, successful. Again, they were completely different. So these are the things that made our journeys a little bit easier. We both have used all of these products and we really stand by them, and we hope that you will use them to help you have a better journey yourself.
First up, Nipple Cream. I mean, it's self-explanatory.
Yes.
Your nipples feel like they went through the ringer, which they did.
They did.
And this helps so much. I used the MEDELA one too,
and I didn't
love it.
This is 100% LANOLIN. LANSINOH is the brand, but honestly, until I started using that, my nipples did not heal. This is just really, whoa. It's really thick.
Slippery.
Yeah.
Yeah. The MEDELA was just too watery for me. This stuff is thick. It's goopy. You put it on and it stays on and it really covers everything and it just really heals it. Yeah.
Yeah, and again, it's all it is. The only ingredient is 100% HPA modified lanolin. That is it. So
it's good. And
and you don't have to like wash it off or anything at your next week.
I also though did use coconut oil on my nipples. That was mainly to kind of, after they had gotten, I used that for probably the first 2 weeks, and then after that I would just put coconut oil just to kind of maintain the healing. I didn't do it right away, but I feel like that got them all nice and healed, and then I used the coconut oil probably for another month to keep them hydrated and not, you know, cracking in, which I like because that also is all natural and was fine for her to put her mouth on. Next up, FENUGREEK.
Not everyone is going to have to take FENUGREEK. It's used to increase your milk supply. I think it's important to know that if you feel like your milk supply is low, it may not necessarily be low.
Right.
Make sure that you know for a fact you have a low milk supply, because what happened with me is I was constantly so stressed out over whether or not I was producing enough. I just assumed I wasn't because, you know, I would pump and there wouldn't be that much. So the lactation consultant always told me, don't go by how much you pump. It's not that has nothing to do with So I disregarded her information and I went with how much I pumped, and it wasn't a lot. So I figured I had low supply. So I started taking FENUGREEK, and let me tell you, that stuff works and it makes you smell as sweet as maple syrup.
I'm convinced that that's how it works. I think that, I think that it smells so good. My milk would reek, I have the science behind it. My milk would reek of maple syrup, and I'm convinced that she just wanted to eat more because it tasted better, and then I made more supply.
That's funny.
But really, why else would it work?
I started taking FENUGREEK, it works, and I ended up having an oversupply issue.
Right, so be careful.
I had so
the only thing about this, you have to take so many. I think you have to take like 3 a day, 3 times a day, or something ridiculous.
That did not make sense at all. 3 a day, 3 times a day?
3 at a time, 3 times a day. I got this at like a vitamin store. I don't know if you can get it like at a drugstore.
They have them at Whole Foods, and
So I don't
think
you
that
can just go to Target.
I don't think so.
But it's good. This was $10, and you do go through them, but I never finished. I did it to boost my supply, and then I stopped it. Yeah,
and so I don't have it with me right now because I'm not breastfeeding anymore. But what my lactation consultant recommended and what I took to help with my supply was it was just like this. It was a capsule called the brand is Vitanica, and it's Vitanica Lactation Blend, and you can find it at Whole Foods. And she suggested that I take 1 FENUGREEK 3 times a day, and 2 Vitanica lactation blend twice a day. And my supply was out of control.
Yeah.
So you can also mix it with different things.
Right.
You don't have to just take it by itself. But yeah, it's if you're struggling with milk supply issues, this is definitely gonna.
But you will reek of maple syrup.
Yeah.
I think these are expired, but every part of your body, like I would sweat maple syrup.
Yeah. Yeah.
Next up is a breastfeeding cover. You can get these anywhere. You could use a blanket. This is just so easy because you put it over your head and it's nice and wide and you don't have to worry about holding it or whatever.
Well, and it has this to keep it open so you can see them.
And so they could breathe.
Yeah.
And then this one has like a little pocket so you could put lanolin or whatever you needed in it. I got this one at Target. I think the brand is J. Cole or something like that. They're cute. Brielle, I mentioned this in my breastfeeding story, but she ate all the freaking time. And so I had to feed her in public. There wasn't any way around it. And this is just nice because, I mean, it's not discreet. I mean, it's this huge pattern. So people know what you're doing, but it keeps everything hidden. It's lightweight. They have the hole. You can see what's going on. It stays put. It's cute. And you can feed your baby in public without exposing your boobs.
And I have a suggestion as far as covers go. Carissa was always really good about taking Brielle out from the very get-go. So she would always nurse her, you know, from the very beginning. And so Brielle was really used to the cover. Well, with Drew, I had a C-section. I was, you know, it was winter when I had him. I was inside a lot. So by the time I started actually going out, he was probably already like a month old. And so when I would try to use the cover, he would not have it. I'd have to feed him in the car or, you know, it was just really hard. So if you are going to breastfeed, definitely get them introduced to the cover from the very get-go so that they'll be used to it when you go out.
And I think it's inevitable. Once she got like 6 months, she was pushing it away and stuff. But they're feeding less at that point. Well, she wasn't, but they should be. So it's great for at first though when you're still getting used to everything.
Oh my gosh.
The holy grail.
Yes. When we were pregnant, the craze was all about the boppy. So, you know, we both had got the boppy and we were really excited. We thought that was going to be like our pillow that we used to help us, you know, breastfeed our kids. And when I had Drew, I came home and I got the boppy out and I went to put it around me and it would not go around me, first of all. It didn't fit around me. And second of all, however I kind of managed to force it around me, when I tried to sit him in it, since it's circular, he kind of would just fall into the crack and it just did not work at all. So I spent the first 2 weeks not even using anything, just kind of holding him, and it was hard to position him correctly. It was just really, really tough without a good supportive pillow. So when I went at, you know, 2 or 3 weeks to my lactation consultant, she gave me this pillow and it changed my life forever. Seriously.
It's really good. It's the My Breast Friend. Yeah. I want to say they're maybe a little bit pricier than the boppy.
I think they're 40 or 50. I think they're 50.
The back support is what is so good about it. Because the boppy just kind of goes on you. And after you have a baby, it's not going to be comfortable. You're still like you're 5 months pregnant size-wise.
Yeah, and this is adjustable, so it doesn't matter how big or small you are, it'll fit.
The other thing I loved about it is like the breastfeeding cover, it has like a little pouch here for storage. This is a cover, so just like the boppy, there's washable covers.
And these, it has, I don't know if you can see it from the shadows, but it has 2 like bumps here for their heads. So you kind of lay their body in here and their heads kind of rest here to prop their head up so that they can get to you easier. And it's great for positioning them.
I didn't love the boppy for breastfeeding, but I do, if it's in your budget and you have storage for them both, I think there is a time and a place for each one. I use the boppy a lot for positioning her, and in the middle of the night, I didn't really want to fuss with wrapping this around me, so I would use the boppy at night at the beginning just because it is easy to just plug it on you. So I would kind of keep the boppy in my room and then this one out in the living room.
Yeah.
So I just remember being pregnant and coming over to your house, like, she never took it. I don't know what was going on in your head.
Well, my favorite feature of it is that even if they're not breastfeeding, it actually serves as like a TV tray.
I just would walk around the house with it connected to her at all times. It's really comfy. It's really good. Go, if you're considering, maybe go into the store and try out both of them and see which one's more comfortable.
Yeah. Look at her.
Okay, she's too quiet over there.
Oh my gosh, she has the lip gloss. Where'd you get it? I'll show you.
Oh my goodness, Bree, you serious about it?
August favorite.
Are you serious about it?
Really good on me.
Wow, I thought it was too quiet.
Formula.
Okay, that's all.
Wow. Oh my gosh, Bree. That pretty though. Pretty color on you.
Thank you.
Okay, the next thing we've already talked about in our breastfeeding story, and we don't have one here with us, but it's the Nipple Shield. It's by MEDELA. I'm sure there's other brands that make them. I think they're like 15 bucks or something. I'm not sure.
Pricey,
yeah, they're pricey. They're really soft, flexible, plastic, or almost like silicone.
I think they are
silicone, yeah. And you just put it on your nipple. It has the holes for the milk to come through. If you feel fine pain-wise and your baby is latching great, then by all means don't use it. But if your nipples are bleeding, they're very raw, if it's becoming unbearable, it's a good way to just give your body a break, and you know, the baby can still get the milk. And like I said in the breastfeeding story, it helped me more with getting her used to latching, but it helped her a lot for the pain.
Right. Definitely wait until you're at a point where it's either I'm gonna give up because it's too painful, or I'm gonna use this as a last resort. Right. I had an app on my phone. It's the MEDELA app. It's a breastfeeding app. Did you use it? Yeah, we both used it. It was, it just kind of, you can keep track of everything. But I think we mostly used it for breastfeeding. It helped me know, you know, what boob I had last left off on and how long he was eating and things like that.
He was eating. Keep track of poopy diapers.
And and it also keeps track of bottles if you are formula feeding. It does. And as he got older, I used it for naps because his naps were so inconsistent. It would help me to look back and go, okay, he shouldn't be tired yet, or he should be tired. So
yeah, it's good because at the beginning, I think the pediatrician is always asking, how many times a day do they eat? What, you know, all these things, and you're not going to remember it. So it's just a nice, easy thing.
Okay, and a couple of just random things that help me. If you're having problems with clogged milk ducts, if your milk just is coming in so strong in the beginning and it doesn't really lessen, you can take, it's a pill, it's called lecithin. You can find it at your drugstore. And basically that just helps so that your ducts don't get clogged, so you won't get mastitis. Something else, Drew was always very sensitive to anything that I ate, especially dairy. So I had to cut dairy out for the first 4 months of his life. It was awful. I mean, all dairy. So if that happens to you, definitely take a calcium pill. And if you are breastfeeding, you should already be taking an iron pill. I didn't know that until I went to my first visit and they told me. So those things, and I think that's all of them.
Good luck. It's hard, but it's worth it, and hopefully some of these things will help you out to make your journey a little bit easier.
Definitely. And if you guys have any questions for us, you know, you can ask us here on our Facebooks, Instagram. We're always glad to help.
So thank you guys very much. Make sure to like this video, comment, and subscribe if you haven't already, and we will see you guys next time.
Bye.
Bye. We don't have a Facebook. We'll make one though.